Hey guys, Dr. Holly here. Hope everyone's doing all right. Welcome to another edition. We're going to be talking about setting up where potential clients can fill out a lead form. That's why you hear a lot of these people say we get X amount of leads per day. Uh, you know, and what does that mean and how does that work? Well, I figured the easiest way is to just go ahead and show you. So normally my staff does all the lead forms. So it's been a couple moons since I actually developed the lead form. And I was going to practice it, but I thought, what the hell? We're all professionals. I'll get on here with you guys and do it live with you. That way, if I make a mistake or if I have to think about it a little bit, you can see that we're all human and we all work together. And that's why we hire staff to do things for us, right? As you recognize, this is our page here, Fast Start Social Media Crash Course. So we'll go up here to the inverted triangle, drop down, and we're going to create an ad. Now, I'm trying this at a different time of the day, so hopefully it'll be a little bit quicker because it seems like sometimes I'm doing these and it just takes forever to upload. And I found that normally whenever I default to like an after work, after the 4 or 5 o'clock rush hour or 6 o'clock, early evenings, it kind of slows down. So, or it kind of, yeah, it's because it really slows down because people are getting, all the people in the area are checking their emails or getting on things. So I'm doing this. I'm thinking around right now. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon. So it looks like it's still a little bit slow. So my apologies, but so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go on here, as you guys should recognize by now from the other videos. Okay, we got to choose our objective. And what we want to do in this one is go ahead and we are going to look at lead generation. Okay, that means we're going to be getting the potential customers' information is what we're going to be doing. And what do you do with that? Well, you call them up or you have your staff call them and get them to come to an appointment, a consult, a phone call, but whatever you want to do. So we're going to do lead generation 101 trial, just to give us an idea. And again, you guys can name it to whatever you want. This is your little world. You can name it to whatever you want here. And again, after watching some of the other videos, this should be some familiar territory to you. We're in the back. Again, the ad set name, we can rename that if we want to. Again, this here's the Facebook page. We got to pick a page right off the bat, what we're going to be doing. So that's fine. So with you, when you develop your business page will be default here. I probably got 50 pages on here. So I have a lot of selections. So that's why I have the drop down on mine. And if you haven't accepted the terms, it's going to flag you before you can get off this page that you have to accept the terms first. It's not a big deal. Just saying you're not going to be selling, guns, pornography, and you're going to adhere to the ad rules and yada, yada, yada. So go ahead and make sure you accept those. So once you get that, and make sure it's the proper Facebook page, just in case you do have multiple pages, okay? Now, again, we know that we can use a saved audience or a custom audience. So this one here, we'll just create a new one just to make sure you guys are all aware. I'll run through the steps again, and we'll do it really quick this time. So we're going to put people who live in the location. Come on. There you go. And we're going to type Chicago, Illinois. And we've already talked about why we want to do the live-in. We're going to keep it a 25-mile radius. Let's just do women. Oh, heck, we did women last time. So well, I don't want the boys out there to get upset. So we have a couple hundred people on this course with us. So we're gonna make it a little more neutral here. And let's just we put diet and exercise has been our home base. So let's just do I'm gonna type in diet and see what comes up. I think we already did this. Yeah, let's go ahead and one of my favorites is the Mediterranean diet for personal, just to be honest with you. So I'm just going to put Mediterranean diet. Again, you can type in, let me just add a few more. How about dieting? That should really spike our numbers up. 66,000 men are interested in the Mediterranean and the other. You know what? Let's just do another one. We'll get this going here a little bit even higher, 89,000. And again, you guys know how we can expand these things. We can do different suggestions. I would recommend probably having no more, and this isn't a rule. It's a kind of a rule of thumb. I wouldn't put any more than 7 interests in here. Okay. And that's not just me. That's, a lot of the other marketers that do this for a living, along with myself. That's kind of the rule. I normally end up about 4 to 5, but I would do no more than 7. Again, and why would you need to add more? Say if you're in a small town, you're not in Chicago. So saying you're in a small Midwest town where there's only 25,000 population. Well, first of all, you can try some of the Facebook stuff, but if you're in a really, really, really small area, you need to supplement that with a local newspaper. They are still out there. Okay. So, and you need to be building your Facebook page. Okay. You need to be inviting them to the page. Okay. So always put that in any other ads too. Always cross market. Okay. So again, you see this is unchecked, that box. So don't forget that little dude, because that will save you money. And again, we're going to edit the placements. We don't want them to be doing it every place else. So right now we want to get rid of the instant articles. There we go. None of these are checked, so we're good to go. We want on all mobile devices and only when they're connected with Wi-Fi. Is it going to throw things out of the water if you don't have it connected to Wi-Fi and you forget to uncheck the box? No. In some cases, hey, if you really want to know, it doesn't cost to do much to do a test. Do one audience that's connected and do one audience that's not connected. Let it run for 2-3 days. See what it is in your area. Okay, these are all little variables you can do. I heard actually, I didn't hear, but I seen a post on one of my private groups that I'm involved with the marketers. And they said, being a digital marketer is like being a mad scientist. It's always experiment, experiment, experiment. And that's true. When you're doing, if you have your part, you kind of experiment once, and you kind of got the feel of it. But if you're doing it for all the people all over the US, and some of these, you can do all over the world, you got to experiment the first week, maybe 2 weeks to really dial in. So we'll put daily budget down. We'll bump her down to $3. We're doing our testing phase. And I got an email the other day, actually a couple, saying, what is the average ad spend? Well, it kind of depends. If it's this was from a chiropractor. So the chiropractors that are on this course, I can answer directly to you guys. The other ones just adapt it to your model. The mom and pop chiropractors, the ones that are doing just an adjustment only, you're going to be spending more higher ad budget because you're going to have to hit home the message a lot more. Okay. Roughly 10 to 15% of a population is going to be interested in chiropractic care. So you're going to have to spend a little bit more. So we have those docs, they're dumping anywhere from $20 to $50 a day on average, okay, for the campaign. And yes, they are making ROI. It's a harder market. It really is. I mean, we got to really do some tweaking and testing in here, and we run a good solid week. Normally two 3-day blocks of testing for those. The weight loss, for instance, let's face it, 85% of any given population has, or at least thinks they have, a weight problem. So when you throw something out there like that, it doesn't take a lot more blood in the water to get the sharks to bite. I mean, people are more interested. They're clicking on things, so your cost goes down. We have people getting with a laser lipo contour for weight loss. They're getting results from $5 a day to $10 a day. Now we have some that are really just killing it, and they're putting more money in. They're doing up to $100 a day. I have one gentleman that's been with me for a couple of years. He's doing thyroid, and that bleeds into weight loss, neuropathy. I mean, it bleeds into a lot of things, but he does thyroid. He's doing $50 a day consistently for the last year and a half. So, but he's getting results. We're getting a ton of leads on him. Okay, and yeah, after a while, after a month, because his audience is a big audience. After a month and a half, you start getting lead saturation where we got to change the audience up a little bit. So a small town lead saturation, the average town, say you're probably going to run about 3 weeks to a month. Then you'll have to change your ad up because it'll be shown to the same people. Bigger audience, the less frequent you're going to have to change your ads. Okay. And with that said too, you don't want to go for like a 5 million audience either. I mean, you want to keep it dialed in and change your ads once a month. So you guys are all familiar with all this. Went through all this. Let's hit continue. And again, I'm not really focusing on the audience at this point here. This is just a demo for you guys. What I would also probably do is do a Google Ads keyword search. If I had a brick and mortar practice again, I'd probably do a keyword search for the service that I'm offering, see what keywords are out there, and kind of cross-reference those with what my Facebook thing is telling me and kind of come up with a good blend. I would probably do a $10 a day Google AdWords campaign as well to get the people that are actively searching versus the Facebook, which is passively searching. Again, for right now, we'll just keep it right here. This here, let's just okay, this here is a small image, so it won't work on Instagram, so that's not too bad. Let's just go ahead and do this. I think we've had other images that we've used just for this course even, so let's see what we have. Let's do the old headache one again, and the dimension should be bigger. Yeah, you can see 500 by 350 versus 1280 by 720. For the Instagram, you're going to want a bigger ad. Okay, just make sure it's a high resolution. Okay, so that checks out. Okay, so let's use that one, and that should be changing down at the bottom. So now, tell us what we're promoting. We are fishing for leads. And let's see if that comes out here. Fishing for leads. Display link. That's if you want your link to display. I'm not too concerned about that. News feed link. So let's go again. Wanna fill out a form. Okay, so basically what we're going to be having here, and this here is the headline. Teaching forms. And obviously, guys, you're not going to be doing quite like that. You'll be coming up with some good copy about your offer. You want to have something up here because they're going to be scrolling, looking at, your potential customers on Facebook are not looking for your services. They're looking to watch Uncle Bubba jump a flaming swimming pool or watch a pet dog or something. Okay. They're going to be looking for that, or their kids. Then all of a sudden, boom, it's called disruptive advertising. Your ad is going to appear in their feed, and you're going to have something kind of catchy. Hey, breakthrough treatment for blah, blah, blah. People are dropping weight, blah, 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 blah. You got to try, you got to have something catchy. And then what you got to do is put a little bit of a scarcity, meaning limited time offer, limited space available, only those who qualify. Sale is on for only X time. Click here or fill out form, and we'll have one of our people contact you. Okay. So that's what you want to do when you do your copy. And there's no hard rules to copy, to be honest with you. I don't care what people say. We've been doing it since the 80s in our own clinics, and even now doing it for others. There's no hard and fast rules. There's some basic rules. You got to have a hook. You got to have an offer to disrupt what they're doing, to look at your offer. And then you have to have something to get off the Facebook and get them on the thing and make it appealing enough to come in. So what is that? That depends on your service and your area. Okay. So that's why I always recommend trying 3 or 4 different ads, try different audiences, take a week and get it out there and do it on the low cost and compare. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. So now the call to action is going to be a sign up. Remember, our other one was learn more. So this here, we're going to go ahead and sign up because we're going to be having to fill out a lead form. And the pixel, we're not going to be getting on that right now. So so when you do a lead form, see, I'm going to show you on Pixel. I think we got to do a conversion webinar here also on doing conversions, which we will be doing pixels, which I want to make sure I want to do that together with the Pixel on how to set it up. Okay. And again, that's just tracking. So in other words, if I go on and I look at canoes on Google and sporting goods store, I'm shopping for canoes. You can bet if I get on Facebook afterwards, I'm going to find an ad or 2 about canoes someplace in my news feed, or when I log on to Google, it'll be there. It'll be in the side column someplace. Okay. That's because someone had a tracking pixel and they got my, UPC number, and they tracked me down. Okay. So that's what I'm going to teach you guys how to do. So basically all we got, we're going to leave it for the sign up. or you can put in here, learn more, subscribe. I normally put just leave it like this. It's all up to you. And a lot of times I'll put out here with the forms, weight loss. I wish I had pulled up one of our ads so I could have had a copy handy, but everyone's gone for the day. So basically, new weight loss program, breaking all records. Certain qualifications apply to candidates. Fill out the form. We will get back with you and let you know what the qualifications are to see if you're a candidate. Blah, 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 blah. Then you put sign up. Then what we do is we got to create a form. We've never created one, so let's create a form. And you could do an introduction. How about questions? So let's look at some questions. So please fill out form and we will contact you within 24 hours. Or whatever you like. Okay, user information. All I normally do is get the email and the full name. Now, if you want, you can click on it'll default like this, show more options, because right now you have email and full name. Okay. You can put in there a phone number, you can put city, zip code, all these different things you can put in there. Okay. You can see the phone number just populated in. I would recommend doing just these three. Actually, what I would probably do is just do, I think this is what we do in our forms. Your first name, phone number, and email. That's all I would do, because you have two forms of contact. If you want to do just email, that's fine. It's up to you. You can set them up for your email campaigns and get back with them that way. But I would try to get a phone number. If they're serious, they'll give you a good phone number. Okay. Now, if you want to create more questions, you can do a multiple choice. You can do an appointment scheduling, which I don't. I like my staff, and I would like someone to actually call them and get them on the phone and talk with them, because I don't want everybody coming in. I want to make sure they're not going to waste my time. Conditional, short answer. You can put, are you having lost issues now with your plan? We'll talk about the 4-letter word. Okay. So that'll be in there. Okay. Now, privacy policy. We have to have a privacy policy. So the privacy policy, you should be able to go on. Generic privacy policy URL. Your personal website, when whoever built your website, should have in there a generic privacy policy. Okay. So you should be able to come up with something right here. Just anything. And again, I'm just doing this quickly because you'll have your own privacy policy. Okay. And a thank you screen. Thanks, you're all set. You're all set to come and tea. Blah, 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 blah. And then what we can do now is, if we want to visit the website, you can take them off that. And what you can do is put okay. So the last one is the thank you screen. And again, you can customize that. It says your info has been set to Club LMT. Tap to visit. Boom. And that's the button. Okay. Now you could also have download, but we're not going to have a download form. But if you want to have a ebook or some forms papers that you wanted to type up about weight loss, conditioning, whatever you wanted, then that's fine. That's where you would have it for them to download after they fill out their form. Okay. So now this should be all set. We should be able to hit finish. Intro. I didn't do an intro. Oh, see, it'll prompt you. Headline. Hey there. Thank you. Okay. So that should be set. Now our lead form is done. We have everything now. Now I'm not going to hit it because I keep having to go in and delete these things. Now it's saying there's too much text in the image. This is a good, I'm glad this popped up. Facebook used to have an old rule that said you cannot have more than 20% text in your images. Okay. Now, and it was, I think it was really time consuming for them to really grade and overlay a grid onto the image to see if it was 20% or less text. Okay. So they've done away with that rule now, but you still have a lot of these things here. They'll still allow it, but they may not show it as much as what they're doing. So they're softening it. Okay. In other words, they still may not show the darn thing just like they wouldn't have before, but now they took themselves out from policing it is what they did basically. Okay. So what I always do is I just grab this image here. We could have replaced it with anything. I always just do images with no text in them at all. If I want to talk about something, I'll do it below it or above it. Okay. So now I won't go ahead and hit confirm because you guys know what happens. You hit confirm, then it will take you to the thing where your order's processing. Then it'll take you to the ads manager where you look at it and it'll say it's pending review. And then normally an hour or 2 hours later, it gets approved or denied. And it'll tell you what to change. So I don't want to do that because I've done probably a dozen of them now, and Facebook's wondering what the hell I'm doing. I don't want to get my account flagged. So, but that's all I would do is hit confirm. Okay, provide, and everything looks good, and everything else that you want. Now, if you wanted to change anything else, you can go back and you can change images. You can change the sign up things. Do all that before you hit confirm. Okay. So now, where do we go? Let's go on this page. So you understand that. You know how to do a lead form. You know how to do a lead ad. Pretty much the same thing. The only thing that's different is just the lead form. And it's kind of self-explanatory once you get in there. Just rewind this and you can follow through my steps. And just like I said, get some good copy with a good call to action image. And you'll be all set on that. So now let's go to the personal news. Let me get all this here going. Leave this page. And all you do is hit confirm, which we're going to hold off on doing. So I'm not going to get charged again. And Facebook isn't going to wonder what the hell I'm doing with all these things I keep setting up and denying after they approve them. Yeah, I got an email after I did the other one the other night that our thing was approved and it started to run. So it is probably making them wonder. So I'm hitting my little drop down arrow. It's just taking a little bit. So let's go on. Come on to our page, Trial Biz page. Now, I believe, again, my staff does this, and they go over all of this. If nothing has changed, this is your page. We're all familiar with this. Once we have our lead form set up, you should be able, I believe it's under the notifications tabs. Oh, yeah, it won't be here yet because I don't have the form set up. Ah, okay. But what's going to, oh, wait a minute. Let me look over here. Maybe, again, I said I was going to do this live with you guys, so you can see if I had forgotten anything. Yes. Okay. So on your page, you're going to hit the Publishing Tools tab. So we're on our, instead of being on our page, we click Publishing Tools. And all you're going to do is go on down to Lead Forms. Then that is going to actually go ahead and that will pull up the forms that people filled out. So let me just see here if I have any. Yeah, we don't have any right now because we haven't did any on this page. If we had any lead forms, people filled out that form that we did, their name, email, and phone number. It would show right here. And what you would do is, it's not even given the option because I don't have them, but you'd click a little button and it would say download in CSV, which is a spreadsheet. So you just download the forms at the end of the day on a spreadsheet on your desktop or in a folder, then have someone call them. That's as simple as it is. So that's what it is. So basically, we'll be on our page. We'll go into publishing tools. We'll hit on lead ad forms. We haven't created any because I didn't. In order to create them, then I would have to had clicked submit on the previous screen, and then we would have to have waited for the ad to get approved. So, but you get the gist of it. That's how you do it. And then it's very easy to have someone in the office or yourself just check them. You know what a lot of them do to stay on top of them. They have a dedicated person checking all the lead forms right before lunch and about an hour before the end of the day. And if there's any people that called in or did the forms with the phone number, they would call them right before lunch, try to get them in that afternoon because again, urgency is the key. And they would also do that right before the end of the day, and they try to schedule them for the next day morning. Okay. Then the ones that didn't pick up or answer, then they just made a list and they worked those the first thing when they came in. We did the thyroid one. I think it was this Sunday. He had over 14 lead forms filled out this Sunday. So Monday morning, he's having his person call all 14 and get them scheduled for this afternoon. The ones that didn't reach, he's going to try them tonight. The ones that didn't reach then, he'll try them in the morning. So after a couple of weeks of getting 5 or 6 or 15, depends on how your ads are doing, a day, you're going to have someone that's going to be calling constantly potential new clients, new patients coming in. Okay. So anyways, so that's the lead forms. That's how you set those up. And I'll be throwing another one back at you pretty quick. Oh, one thing. I got emailed the other day because we did some traffic and everything. They said, how do we know which to use, traffic or lead forms? Well, that's a good question. Again, it depends on your service and on what part of the country you're in. Okay. There may be some persnickety areas that they don't want to give out anything. They would rather just call you. Well, fine. Drive a big amount of traffic to your website or your web page or your landing page with a phone number on it. Okay. Then you can kind of monitor if you're used to getting 3, 4 new patient inquiries a day on your phone, and all of a sudden you're getting 10, 15 a day now. Well, your ad's working, you're pulling. If you want to get a separate 1-800 number or a different tracking number, through your phone company, that's fine. Put that number in your ads or put that on your landing page. Okay. If the people in your area have no problem filling out a form, their name and email, which I'm going to say most people don't, do the lead form. That way you got them. At least you got their emails. Then you can set them up on a drip campaign. Every after the first week, definitely fill out and say, hey, we tried reaching you, blah, 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 blah. Here's a special thing only for our email list that have filled out the form. Here's an extra 20% off. Come on in, blah, blah, blah. Or special, bring a buddy for our weight loss program and you get 50% off the first month. Things like that. And then you put them on a drip campaign, once a week for 2 weeks, then you kind of taper it down. And then you actually go ahead and give them some information, why it's important to get into a system where you can have a regular coach helping you do, weight loss, or why it's important to get this taken care of, or massage, or whatever. Okay. So that's the thing I like about lead forms, because it will build you an email list as well. Okay, guys, that's it for this one here. Again, get in, don't be afraid of it. Keep the cost low for the first week or two, play around, and don't forget to check the leads when they come in. Take care.